But we're going to start with our Newsmaker segment and look at some of the issues facing the Kansas legislature, and there's no shortage of those. Joining me is State Senator David Haley from Wyandotte County. Haley, a Democrat, represents the 4th District and has been in the Senate since 2001. Prior to that, he served in the State House. Haley, an attorney, is also a member of a famous American family. His father, George, was a politician and international diplomat, and his uncle, Alex, was a Pulitzer Prize winner, the author of the best-selling book and subsequent television series, Roots. Senator David Haley, welcome to Ruckus. Great to see you again, sir.
It's great to be back. Thank you, Mike.
We're both Wyandotte Countyans, so as we begin, tell me how you think Kansas City, Kansas and Wyandotte County are getting along. We're now in the 3rd decade of consolidation.
We are, and certainly there have been some benefits that consolidation has yielded. We have seen that there is an ease and not the discord that was seen in the former county city governments, and that acrimony that's often seen even in other county city governments. So in terms of having that ability, we've moved forward. There are still some remaining questions, as you know, being one of our most famous Wyandotte Countyans now, and that is—
That's why you're a guest, you know.
That our bonding, we're concerned about our bonding. We look at some of our more stellar economic drivers and what their longevity might be. And we're concerned also about representation at the local level, where we have the representation where people are not able to be heard because they have an in-district and an at-large representative, and sometimes those two are, well, collude.
We have a county commissioner instead of a city government, city council. Let's talk about the school finance decision rendered by the state Supreme Court last week. The court finally said the spending was sufficient for K-12 education. Are you satisfied with the outcome?
Well, certainly we're pleased with the governor now Governor Kelly, to be able to do that, working with is often a contentious legislature. We still have many, certainly in the Senate and in the House, that did not want to see the Gannon decision resolved at this point in time. I think they thrive on having this constant back and forth.
Well, we had attorneys for the school district say they're not satisfied. They accepted this, but they're not satisfied. So how long do you think it'll be before these school districts, a couple of which are in Wyandotte County, renew the suit?
Well, let's think about this in one word: inflation. How will inflation affect what is a fixed amount, that is 90 million additional? How will that 90 million look in outlying years? We know that it's going to suffice, or we believe it will for now, but how long will it be before we need to look at the costs of inflation for looking at risk and other variables that we need to ensure adequate and suitable education?
Do you see
for all?
any chance that Democrats and Republicans could craft an amendment that would say school finance is based on, pick a percentage of what income the state is expected to receive in any given year, and that decision would be final?
I know other states have done that. In fact, they may do that in Missouri, where it's
I
a
think
certain
maybe
percentage.
Missouri does that.
Certainly, and I don't know if we're going to reach that point at this point. We pride ourselves in Kansas that our schools are competitive. I'm very proud that one of the #1 high schools in the country, Sumner High School, is in my district, in KCK. And I don't know if we want to have a cookie-cutter approach based on what the economy is doing in our state that would then be a trickle-down to what—
Well, but you know, here's the problem. I talked to lots of state legislators and a former governor and a future governor, and I would ask them all, so how much money do the schools need? And not any of them can answer that question, because no one seems to know. It's based on a court decision, based on a nebulous clause in the state constitution. Wouldn't it be better to nail it down and say 25% or 30% or whatever of anticipated revenues go to schools?
If we're willing to say that we no longer feel that education is the primary function of state government and that our school children are the most important thing that we have, then certainly we can tie that into that. But I think that whatever income the state has from our state general fund, the prime objective would be to ensure that our state is not only competitive in a world economy, but also the highlight of our children.
Are there any Republicans in the state legislature from Wyandotte County?
Not that I'm aware, and if they are, we will do what we can.
And the legislature is controlled by the Republicans. Do Wyandotte Countyans get a fair shake from the state legislature?
Oh, indeed we do. we have a good debate, a robust debate, and it's not just because of Democrats or Republicans or conservatives or moderates, but because by and large, we're listening to the issues and the values that are reflected by most Kansans. So we've been relatively
You're
productive.
active in the Democratic Party. Who's your favorite candidate for the presidential nomination?
Wow, at this point in time, I'm prepared to support several of them. I don't have a clear favorite, but certainly they all are making their points. I will say that I'm concerned about the party being too constrained to some of the issues, the outlying issues, to what some would say the far left, and that we don't address the mainstream, as indeed I hope our party will.
You consider
that our
yourself a
candidate-
moderate?
I do.
All right. Good to see you again. Thank you very
good to
much
see
for
you.
coming in.
Appreciate
Come
you
back
having
and
me
see
back.
us. That is Kansas State Senator David Haley. Now let's meet the panel and start a ruckus.